Hi everybody, Ray from Pro String. I will be stringing a racket, but I will not be speaking about how to restring a certain racket today. Today's main reason for this video, as you may see by the title, is we'll be speaking about mishits. I find it's a very common thing that's not spoken enough about, and there seems to be not so much information out there. There is a little bit of information you can find out there about mishits. What is a mishit? A mishit it can happen in tennis, squash, and badminton also, FYI. These things are very common in all three, or any racket sport that has strings. Obviously paddle, pickleball, that doesn't happen because there's no strings, as you'd imagine. But anything with strings, any racket with strings, this is something that does happen. I don't care what level you play. You could be a beginner, you could be a pro player. It happens to everybody. Not often, normally, that won't be the case. But does it happen? Yes, it does, and it's a real thing. So the main reason, I wouldn't say I'm doing this video out of being super pissed off, but I've had a client now block me and just started using us. I think it was just before the summer, so we're in 2025. Currently in November the 6th today. Client started using us before the summer, was super happy. He was very worried about tennis elbow. There was polyester strings that didn't suit him and he had bad experiences, but I mean that's all very personal, down to each individual, how their arm works and what it can handle and not handle. That's it's different for everybody. Mishit. What is a mishit? It's when you break a string close to the frame. Normally at the top. Less common is at the bottom, and I've seen it at the well, I said bottom, at the sides, should we say. Much less frequently is at the bottom. Very rare. See, if someone's breaking the string there right from the get-go in the first few hours, then there could be something wrong with the string or the stringer or the racket. When I say racket, I mean the grommets. The grommets, bad example, but you can see this racket has full grommets. This is the Prince O ports, power holes if you'd like, where it's grommetless, large part of the racket. But this, again, really important that you guys know that this can happen on any type of racket, with any type of string, at any tension, with any stringer, with any machine. So like I was saying, this video is a little bit today. I thought I need to do this. It is a video that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, but today was meant to do it because I'm a little bit frustrated with this client who was super happy, good reviews, or left us good reviews. I hope that he doesn't go back and change them, because that'd be really petty, considering that he's not educated on this topic like many people are. So when you break close to the frame, that's when it's normally going to happen. Why does it happen? Firstly, because you're not hitting the ball in the middle. Is it common to not hit in the middle? Very common to not hit in the middle. Your sweet spot is typically around there, probably 75, 80%. It's not right smack in the middle, your sweet spot. It's slightly higher up normally. If you're breaking strings lower down, it means you're hitting the ball a little bit too close to the body. Tennis coach as well, in case for those of you that don't know me. So yes, the racket does not absorb the ball the same way. So when you hit the sweet spot, and you can feel that, right? You can feel it, you can hear it. Sometimes you can see it, especially if you're on the other side or as a coach. It absorbs at its best. A racket behaves at its best when you hit the ball in the middle. Now, if you're hitting it close to the frame, some string frame, that's when you're most at risk, because you're hitting the frame and it's not absorbing, right? So it's absorbing me hitting the racket, not absorbing anymore. If we're hitting the frame, it's not absorbing shit. Excuse my French. Right, so why I'm doing this video is because people don't have enough information on it. So this client strung with us 4 or 5 times, sometimes express, sometimes normal service, irrelevant. He was super happy. Now he's not going to use us. I tried explaining this by text. He would not answer the phone. His original text was saying, I've used the racket for 1 rally or a few minutes, and it's broke. So he broke his other racket, which was both strung by us. He breaks that with a clean break, no issues. Cool, fine. Grabs his backup racket, which is the same racket as he doesn't have the same racket. It's the head speed, but one's 16-19, the other one's 18-20. Again, irrelevant. He's picked up his backup racket, pop, he's broken within the first few minutes. I understand the client's frustration. I am the first that would be like, stringer, string, shit. I want a refund, I want you to do this racket for free. Excuse me, excuse you. First thing is educate yourself. Educate. I mean, I'm at fault of this as well and other things in life. I'm sure I've done this with something else, so I don't want to be a hypocrite either, but educate yourself. Go online before you block somebody, because he now blocked me. I've lost a good client, which, you know, stringing at least maybe once a month roughly, so he must be good. I think he's an older gentleman, maybe in his early 50s, but seems to hit a good ball because he's breaking a polyester. He's super happy with the Pro String Nemesis. Breaking strings once a month, so, you know, 10, 12 restrings a year, give or take. Good client. Someone that coming to you monthly is considered a good client. But he didn't want to hear the explanation, didn't answer. I tried calling him twice. I don't want to be an absolute pain either. I've texted him back immediately saying, really sorry to hear. I understand your frustration. However, we didn't do anything wrong. As you know, we're professional stringers. This is something very common, and you've mishit the ball. Please give me a call to discuss. So I was willing to do something, a discount. What I won't do is do it for free. You can't tell me that. It was like he broke the fourth and fifth main that shared the loop at the top. You can't tell me that it's the stringer's fault. It's either you've hit a mishit, which is very clear in this case, it was a mishit, or sometimes it can be a problem with the grommet. And of course, you don't know there's a problem with the grommet until a string breaks weirdly or with a mishit. So maybe it wasn't a mishit. Maybe there's now a problem with his grommets, and you don't know that until there's a problem, until there's a mishit, which you can't really understand because it was so new or whatnot. But you can't disregard the stringer, especially if they've always done a good job, and so on. So I'm speaking on behalf, not just me, but other stringers as well. At least give them a chance to at least speak to them. Hey, this is what's happened. If they said, hey, you know, like what I did, it's not our fault, and of course that's hard to hear, but I'm happy to discuss something. But of course, when the client's already searching for something they've done and they're not educated on it, I want a free restring. No, fine, no free restring, I'm not coming back to you. It shouldn't work like that. I understand, I fully understand it, but, you know, ultimately it's not necessarily, and most commonly, probably not, the stringer's fault. So just beware of that, guys. You know, from the client point of view, I completely get it. But be a little bit considerate as well. I think maybe I'm at fault here. Maybe you're not. Maybe it's the grommets. Maybe it's nobody's fault. Maybe it's that first time you've had a mishit. And I think this guy's never had a mishit. So he may have been playing tennis for 30, 40 years or God knows. But if it's that first mishit, you can't go around blaming everybody, because nobody hits the ball clean every single time. Sampras used to break strings constantly because he used to use natural gut, and he was pinging strings with mishits off his serves constantly because he used a very small head, natural gut at a very high tension. I can't remember a few years ago, Dimitrov, he popped like 4 or 5 and he couldn't understand why. Again, he was popping the natural guts. This can happen again, any level, any string, any tension, any stringer, any racket, any machine. It's going to be normally because you've simply hit the ball outside the middle and the racket hasn't absorbed it as well as they normally do, because they do absorb incredibly well new rackets with their new technologies and so on. But yeah, be kind to your stringer, guys. Don't be petty for the sake of 30 euros, pounds, dollars, whatever currency you want to call it. Just be nice. Don't be shitty about it. Have a discussion with your stringer. Hey, why do you think this has happened? This has never happened to me in 30 years. Well, hey, it was the first time for everything normally. But, you know, everybody's different as well, and everybody will deal with things the way they want to. Some people are happy to hear, you know, this happens to us, this happens to me monthly almost. You know, because we string such a high amount of rackets, the more rackets you string, the more everything you're going to have. The more compliments you're going to have, the more negative feedback you're going to have. And I find that most of the negative feedback does come from people that don't have a clue about stringing, strings, tension, rackets. You could be a very good player, you could be a pro player and still, or a tennis coach, and still not understand about strings, tension, mishits, and so on. So at least try to inform yourself. If you stumble across this video, inform yourself, have a look online before you cut someone's head off. Yeah, it's not my first time dealing with a mishit and people not understanding, and I've sent links. And most people, I would say 80-90% of the time when it does happen, and I've tried to explain it on their first time of them mishitting or whatever, they'll understand. They're like, Ray, thank you so much for the explanation. It makes complete sense. Please restring my racket again. And that's it. But, you know, go to somebody else. If it's happened once, it's very likely it's going to happen again at some point. What are you going to do? Keep changing stringers? It's such a shame because the guy was so happy with Nemesis. Like, wow, beautiful string. I'm so happy I found you guys. I think he was American. I held a couple conversations with him. His first times that he needed to string with us because he was in urgent needs. So normally I find most American people are quite friendly and understanding, but of course I understand him. He's been playing for 30 odd years or whatever it is and never mishit. Never broke a string with a mishit. But it doesn't mean you're right. I'm sorry to tell you. So just be wary of this, guys. Be nice to people. Not that he was not nice to me, but he's now, and I tried my hardest to explain by text. So I probably sent him 3 or 4 texts. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything and just shut my mouth and that's it, let it go. Which I am absolutely going to do after this video. I'll let it go and that's it. But I thought it was necessary to make a little video on this. So people have an understanding of, you know, these things do happen and mishit is a real thing. Tennis, squash, or badminton. So don't be angry with your stringer. If they really care, and I would have offered a discount, you know, if it would have if push comes to shove, I probably would have done it for free. But the thing is, I don't understand why I should lose out when I haven't done anything wrong, me or any other stringer for that matter. When we haven't done anything wrong, you hit the ball outside the middle, which normally is fine. You won't break the strings, but it will happen. Sometimes, yes, it does happen. Anyway, I won't keep repeating myself and going in circles. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and all the best. Happy stringing, happy tennis, happy squash, badminton, whatever it is you're doing. No mishits. No mishits. And don't come to your stringer moaning that you've mishit the ball. Guys, all the best. Much love. Take care.